Good evening and welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 83. I'm Ron.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Walker.
And here we are once again going to talk about slot cars and racing and races. And Between the Lanes, episode number 83 is now underway. Find us on YouTube. Slot Racer is the channel. We've got 83 episodes up now and some how-to videos along with some special episodes mixed in there. Facebook, the page is Between the Lanes. And race results for last weekend, the winning reports. I think I got pictures for everything this week. NorCal Scale Racing was last weekend at Motown in Modesto, California. Friday night GT12. Rocky Rommel was the winner. Jason Hooper second. Casey Shackelford was third. And on Saturday they started off with NASCAR Amateur. Travis Sullivan was the winner. Cody was second. Rocky the third was third. Advanced, it was Nikki Shackelford, your winner. Richard Freeman second. Ken Keys was third. The expert NASCAR was Brian Boots Anuti, Marshall Keener, and Casey Shackelford. Because like a week before, they had this thing going on Facebook about some boots, I think.
We talked about it on the show, too.
Yeah, we talked about his sexy boots before. So, and there's some country western song about sexy boots or something about
Yeah, these boots are made for walking or something like that.
Yeah, that's really old there. So that's retro. In the pro NASCAR class, Chris Dre was your winner. Rocky Rommel was second, and Gene Motown, the Raceway owner, was third. In the amateur trucks, Cody was the winner. Rocky the third, second, and Michael Kassarin third. Advanced trucks, Nikki was the winner again. Ken Keys was second. Richard Freeman third. Expert trucks, Jerry Wilson was your winner. Dave Bunn second. And Casey Shackelford in third. Pro trucks, Gene pulled it off again. Chris Dre was second. And Rocky was third. And little Rocky's there looking on.
Oh, he's too happy.
Well, hey. Hawk GT Amateur. Travis Sullivan was the winner with Michael Kassarin second. Advanced, Ken Keys was the winner. Richard Freeman second. Paul Ludi in third. Expert, Anthony Varner was the winner. Brian Boots was second. And Jeremy Stotts was third. And then Pro, Chris Wright was the winner. Gene Motown second. And Chris Dre third. LMP Advanced. Ken Keys was the winner. Richard Freeman second. Expert Anthony Varner won for his second time in the day. Brian Boots was second. Casey Shackelford was third. In pro, Chris Dre was the winner. Rocky was second. And Chris Crofts was third. And I think Chris Crofts is coming to the Nats, isn't he? Walker, have you heard from him?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know how that got in there, but that was from a week ago. JPM Performance was at Thaser Raceway, South Bend, Indiana. It was the championship race of the JPM Performance Series. The hobby stock race winner was Dave Garino, Rick Stagan second, Mike Lanino third. Super stock, Austin Milcherska was your winner, Rick Stagan second, and Dave Garino in third. And Pony Stock, Austin was the winner, Rick Stagan second, and Pro Slots, John Miller was third. And in the series championship, the overall was Austin Milcherska was the champion, Rick Stagan second, Dave Garino third. And then I guess in the separate hobby stock championship, Rick Stagan was the winner with Dave Solomon second, and Tony Mavalata in third. In the Donate Life America National Weekly Slot Car Series, they had their final race. Last week was the final race. We haven't really talked much about this in the past on the show, but basically you got 12 raceways around the country that run a weekly series. They send in their results, and they're tabulated into like a national championship kind of thing. totals. So there was 203 total racers, 12 raceways, and there was 12 track champions. So overall, it was a four-way tie for, I guess, the national champion, if you will. And so Daryl Friedley and Josh Anderson, Jeff Martell, and Bill Woodworth, who oversees this, they were the top four drivers, and they all tied with 166 points. So I don't know who is really actually the champion, if there is an actual champion, but maybe there's just co-champions, if you know what I mean there, Walker, right?
A lot of co-champions.
Yeah. Central Illinois Slot Series had their final series race of the 2018-19 series. They were at Route 66 in Elkhart Village, Illinois. And in the FCR hardbody class, Randy Lynn got his first win of the season and maybe his first CIS race win period. Jason Plummer was second and Dave Guyman was third. In the B&E hardbodies, Kurt Vincent was the winner. Bill Subnick was second and Dave Fugate third. In Can-Am, last week's special guest Joe Ligori was your winner. John Payne was second, Ken Williams third. In the 4.5-inch class, Joe Ligori was your winner again with Brad Ringer second, Kurt Vincent in third. And in GTP, Joe Ligori pulled off the hat trick by winning GTP with Brad Ringer second and Ken Williams in third. So for the series championship, in B&E, Kurt Vincent was the champion with PJ Balt second, Dave Fugate third. The FCR champion was Ken Williams, Toby Kindig second, John Vincent third. In Can-Am, Ken Williams was the champion there. Toby again was second, and Brian Rosenberg was third. 4.5, Ken Williams was your champion. Kurt Vincent was second, Toby Kindig third. And GTP, Ken Williams was the champion again. Toby second, PJ third. Guess what? Guess who the overall champion was? Ken Williams. So Ken Williams is the 2018-19 Central Illinois Slot Series champion. His name is added to this kind of like, I'm trying to think what they call these trophies.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, kind of, but there's another name, I can't think of it. Perpetual. His name is added to the Perpetual Series trophy. So
Did he drink out of it, you think?
I have no photographic evidence of that. So there you have it. So previous champions were Kurt Vincent, Jeff Strauss, Toby Kindig, and this year Ken Williams. So congratulations to Ken Williams. FNRS, the Flexi National Series, was at HMS in Bellevue, Ohio, and we raced on 3 different tracks. We ran LMP on the American Aristocrat with crossovers, and then we raced stock cars. I don't know if they have a name for that. It's basically they have a twin sister to the oval, like at Mid-America in Naperville, and then we ran GTP on the King track. So on the hill climb in LMP, I was the winner. Kid Henry was second, and Jim Pace Jr., who won the B main, wound up finishing third overall and beat Terry Watson out by, I don't know, 10 sections or something. And then
I like the shirt, by the way. That's a
thank you.
nice shirt.
You know, it'd be better if it was probably that those were more like targets.
Yeah.
Okay, red with white circles or whatever. Anyway, and then in stock car, I was the winner. Terry Watson was second, and Denny Murray was third. In GTP, I was the winner. Jeremy Wyatt was second, and sweating to the oldies, Al Rudy was third.
Sweating to the oldies.
Sweating to the oldies.
Great.
Yeah, so we can talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But anyway, so Southern California Retro Racing Association raced on the flat track at Buena Park Raceway last weekend. In F1, Dale Yamashita was the winner. Dennis Sampson second, Bill V in third. And then in Can-Am, Dennis Sampson was the winner with Brian Warmack second and Dale Yamashita third. NERR, the New England Retro Racing Group, was at 1010 Raceway, Bristol, Connecticut. In the coupe class, Keith Libby was the winner, Gary Clinton Jr. second, and Jordan Temple was third. And then in stock cars, Vinny Cafazzo was the winner, Gary Clinton Jr. second, and Chris C.D. Davis was third. And I think Chris and Gary have kind of the same hats going on there. That's not their real hair. So winner, winner, chicken dinner. That is your race results.
Friday, Friday, Friday.
Okay. So this weekend is the R4 Retro Race at Tom Thumb in Columbus, Ohio. That will probably be the big race this weekend.
Any live feed you know of? Is there any live feed that you know of?
Yeah, they have live feed. They do have live feed. So if you go to, I think it is Tom Thumb Hobbies live scoring, if you just Google that. On Google, it'll give you the link to.
Yeah, because I've watched it before.
The Lapmaster up feed as well as the video feed. So you can watch it in real time. Penn Jersey is at Fast Tracks, Beckville, Pennsylvania. Yuska is racing this weekend. The Mid-America Hard Body Series is at Mid-America, Naperville. Mid-South is at the Slot Car Track Concord, home of the 2019 USRA Scale Nationals.
And the Skank Bar.
And the Skank Bar and the ice cream store. Next weekend, the 23rd, the Rocky Mountain Retro Racing Association is a straight line speedway in Colorado. The GUR Retro Series is in action in Florida. F2000 is Lucky Bob's. New England Retro Racing Association will have their final race of their series next weekend. And the BRS is at Racerama in North Baltimore, Ohio. And the OCC is at Washington, Pennsylvania on the UK Black Track. And the weekend of the 30th, I got Retro East at Speed Zone. So that's what we got for upcoming races. So something, topic of the show, or one topic we'll talk about tonight. I was trying to bring this up the last couple of weeks, and I kept forgetting to download the pictures. Scaling slot cars. And I thought we'd talk about it. I have never done this. I know very few people that do this. Maybe more people know it than I know about or think about. I don't know. But the object here is to scale your slot car like you would a real race car, or maybe a go-kart, or anything that you would race where you want to know the weight on four corners of your real race car. Now, on a slot car, it's a little different because a lot of classes we don't even use the front wheels. So, and we don't have springs and shocks and things like that either. So, here's just another a setup where a guy's got two scales. He's showing, like, I guess on the right rear, 29. I don't know if that's 29, or maybe it's 2.947. I don't even know if it's grams or if it's ounces. But, it's definitely showing more left rear weight than right side rear weight. And then another shot is looking at it that way. So, like in this example, he's just weighing kind of the rear of his car. So,
we're all just turning our heads.
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's the way the picture downloaded. So,
It's all right.
I can't say there's any pros or cons about this. I mean, like, I've never done it, so I don't know if there's an advantage. I mean, all slot cars are kind of have more left side weight on the left rear than the right side, just because of the way the motor is, and you've got the spur gear over there, and so I don't know what to say about it. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I mean, I just see it as, I guess if I was to start doing this, it would be a whole learning curve because I've never done it before. And I've been involved in scaling real race cars many, many years ago, and that was to go left turns on ovals. So, you're looking at left side weight and diagonal weight from the left rear to the right front, is like the two important things to know. And then, of course, in real racing, some tracks have a left side percentage rule, which means you can't have more than, I think back in our day it was you couldn't have more than 58% left side weight.
I think that's the same rule still.
Okay. But I've seen real race cars that had 75% or 70% left side weight, and those cars definitely turned better than cars that had higher or lower left side percentages. So, but 70% was in like outlaw classes. So, in a slot car again, now like in a retro car, for example, because we do actually run on the front tires, you probably want to set up with 4 scales. And I know Chris Barnes was playing with this for a while, but I don't know if he still does or not. I don't know if he learned anything from it, and if he did learn from it, maybe he learned enough to where it doesn't make a difference. But
right,
Shane, your thoughts? Because you've been involved with real race cars. I mean,
I could see where it could help, but like you said, you'd have to take notes.
Yeah.
Then you'd have, probably after taking notes, you'd probably have, it'd take a couple times, I guess, testing it.
Right.
Yeah, you'd have to go back, weigh it, put it on the racetrack, see what happens, change something, weigh it, put it on the racetrack.
That's the other thing is if you're also like changing motors, once you change your motor, that's going to offset your weight also.
Possibly.
Yeah, because you definitely are going to put it in not perfect one time.
Well, that I think too. I mean, like, okay, so you get your car where you think you want it based on your previous testing.
Right.
But then you get to the track and you have to run a different tire.
Yeah.
So you change your tires to make your car go. Now that's not necessarily going to change your percentages, but it's going to change the way your car performs. And that's going to be more important than just.
It can also change your weight too because of plastic versus magnesium.
Well, right. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, okay, for example, if you've got a car set up with plastic wheels,
right?
You go to metal wheels of the same size. Relatively, the weight the weight might change the weight difference in those wheels, but your percentage left to right should still be the same as far as percentage-wise goes. So, again, too, I mean, if you have plastic wheels in the back and those are the lightest wheels in the rear of the car, and you're checking your rear to front percentage, if you put a heavier tire or heavier wheel on the back, now you're going to put more weight in the rear of the car and lighten up the front of the car percentage-wise. So, but again, on a given day, you could just change from a natural tire to a treated tire and make all the difference in the world. It had nothing to do with percentages per se.
Right. Yeah, and then you get, I mean, that's the thing is scaling a slot car can be way different because there's so many different things.
Right.
You can have a big hub with less tire, so it weighs less.
Right.
But you can have the same diameter, but have a small hub with more tire and it weighs more.
Right. And then in order to get your car to have the percentage you want, you're going to have to add weight to it somewhere.
Right.
Now, will adding that amount of weight slow your car down or not? You know what I mean? Like, weight your car, you're going to make it slower. But if it makes the car go faster through the turns and you could run an overall faster lap time,
that's just like
that's what you're after,
But you can't really put weight where it needs to be because, like, in that picture, there's, like, for example, if you were to stack weight on the pans, like what's on those pans, it would be moving around and changing it all the time. So you'd have to put it on the center section so it doesn't move.
Well, the center section would be the neutral point of the car. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you'd be struggling keeping it on because of all the oil and everything, and all the
Right.
grime. So.
Yep. Because your pan, okay, so like, okay, in real race cars, you have sprung weight and unsprung weight. And, you know, sprung weight you can adjust with jack screws or torsion bars or whatever. And then unsprung weight you can't adjust. It's just weight on the car that you cannot adjust. So
Yeah.
everybody's always looking for the lightest components when it comes to like, you know, we used to run aluminum lug nuts versus steel lug nuts because they were lighter, but that was weight that you couldn't adjust through a jack screw. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Steel on the left, aluminum on the right.
So in a slot car, the center section would be unsprung, where the bat pans would be sprung weight, because that's a moving weight, because your pan's moving. So, yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff to consider there.
Yeah.
So,
it's a lot going on.
Any of our viewers have experience with this and want to chime in, send us a message and let us know what your thoughts or feelings are on it. So, I look for Walker to have scales at the nats for all of us to use.
No.
Well, they had, you may or may not have seen it at Durham, and one of their little showcases, they had a four scale setup
for RC cars.
For RC cars.
Yeah. See, RC cars are like real race cars.
Yeah.
Because you've got suspension.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
It's a lot different. And your front tires are turning. You know, that's what makes the car turn.
Right.
Our front tires don't do that. Our guide flag is what makes us turn. Or the slot makes us turn. So.
Right.
So yeah, it's just totally two different things. I always like consider slot car was more similar to a go-kart because there is no suspension.
Yeah, there's no suspension.
But the difference is with a go-kart, your front wheels are still turning you, and your go-kart's not on a pendulum like a slot car is, because we're on a pendulum because of the guide flag.
Right.
Well, like a couple of our hard body guys, because we race on the trialables, have scales, and they set it up like a go-kart because they're go-kart racers. I mean, they go fast, but I can go just as fast, if not faster, with something I just throw together, you know. So,
well, it's like last Saturday on the oval whenever I was testing. You know, I had the car with no left side weight, and then I was like, well, let me try some with, and then I tried a little bit more, and it went the fastest with no weight.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, like, it depends on, and that oval track is totally different than most.
Yeah.
Right.
But my rule of thumb always was on an oval was to run the car and add some weight. And because weight on the left side will make the car turn better. Will make it turn better. So my philosophy always was just keep adding weight until the car slows down. Because
that's basically what happened.
Yeah, you're going to come to a point.
I was like, all right, this doesn't make sense because it's going slower.
Right. Well, you come to a point where the weight makes the car turn better, and you get a little more, it's turning better. But then it's like you get to a point where, that just made the car go slower.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like I said, my philosophy, again, it depends on the oval track. But back when we used to run a lot of flat oval tracks or maybe 10 degrees of banking, we always had left side weight to make the car turn better. So keep adding weight till you can feel it slow the car down or see it on the clock. And then you've added too much weight. So there. The orange track at HMS is up and running.
That thing looks nice.
I had the pleasure of running some laps on it last weekend.
New track record?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was running a GTP car and I went 319, and Eric was running a GTP car and going 3.4s or something, but he had the wrong tire on. But
yeah, I remember.
We were just out there. He was running laps. I was running laps. I was just feeling the track out. Kit and Eric and whoever else was involved did a pretty good job of making the track better than the condition it was in. Okay, I mean it looked pretty rough in the pictures, but and they had just sprayed it, and the glue wasn't. It wasn't like you were going to go out there and go fast and.
Right, it's still green.
Yeah, but I mean, just goofing around. I went 319, and I remember back in the days when we used to race, like in the late 80s, box stock 15 cars, which weighed 80 grams. A good time was like a 299. With full air control and stuff. So we didn't really run GTP cars back then. We kind of ran flexi car. We ran 16D flexi cars, and for the life of me, I can't remember what kind of times we were turning, but I want to say we were turning like low fours or something. So,
yeah. On that track or just in general?
Not on that track, on an American orange track. I raced every week on a stock surfaced American orange track for probably a year and a half. And
that's without the squiggles?
Oh, it was with the squiggles.
Was it?
Yeah, it was with the real squiggles. And I don't know. I'd have to have them side by side, but I don't think the squiggles on this track are exactly identical to an original American orange. The S's. I think this is got a little more radius in it. Like it's not
more soft.
Yeah, but yeah, the track was it was a blast, and it was like this is the first time I ran on an orange track, and.
Did you have a moment?
Probably in like early to mid 90s was the last time I ran on an orange track. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and I just ran on blue lane, and Eric was running on green, and then, I probably spent 15 minutes on it or something. It was in between running cars on the oval and running cars down on the King track for GT2. So,
in between the chaos.
But because somebody asked me, well, did you have to blip the bank? It's like, no, the bank was full punched. So.
With a GTP.
Well, I mean, back in the day when we ran flexi cars with kind of low downforce bodies on the old American oranges, if the track was sprayed right, you ran the bank wide open.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we used to race Womps, and we run Womps wide open the bank. So.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and they're talking about doing some kind of special race on the orange track, and it was neat and fun, and Eric and them did a great job. So it kind of I told him, I said, well, you should have some kind of a American try something race where you have one day where you're maybe race one or two classes on all three tracks there at HMS, 3 American.
Right.
That'd be kind of cool.
Might get in touch with Eric if he wants to be on the show one day.
Yeah.
He'd be a fun one to have on the show.
Yeah. So, yeah, they put a lot of work and blood and sweat into it, and pretty nice piece. And another cool thing was on Saturday, Donna Hubble, who was the owner of the slot shop in Elyria, Ohio for many, many years. This was the orange track from Elyria. So she came along with her granddaughter, Becky, who used to kind of help her run the raceway there at a certain period of time. And they hung out and talked. And I wanted to do an interview with Mrs. Hubble for the show, like a special episode, and timing just didn't work out. So down the road, we will do that. But she was very excited to see her old track up and running and maybe bringing some glory back to it. So it was pretty cool. So there you have it. Ta-da!
Yay!
Yay! So another topic that we can talk about, okay, is like, and we've touched on this in the past. I don't think we ever really went. Well, maybe we did. I don't know. I don't think we went into big detail, but it's always a topic. Like, the first question is, how should I gear, my 16D motor for a King truck?
Wow, thanks. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Because I sent you that text 2 hours ago.
Well, I know, but then how do I gear my Group 12 for a King track, or how do I gear my
I'm constantly asking Shane that because I don't remember gear ratios at all.
Right. So, I mean, basic rule, okay, another one's how do I gear my Phoenix for this track or my Retro Hawk or my ProSlot FK or, where you don't have pinion rules or gear rules. It's kind of a guessing game. But almost every motor in slot racing has kind of a rule of thumb, Group 7 motors, 8-tooth pinion. I mean, that's just standard procedure. Okay? Yeah. And Group 12 motors on a king track, like in a box stock or a hillbilly box stock, 8s or 9s, but then it changes when you start throwing in different pitches too. We used to run box stock motors. If we ran 64 pitch gears, we ran 9-tooth pinions. If we ran 72 pitch pinions, then we ran 10-tooth pinions. So, and like ProSlot FK motors, rule of thumb, most places, if you want them to live, you put 11-tooth pinions on 64 pitch, which would be like a 12 pitch and 72 pitch. And I really wasn't going to get into the whole 64 or 72 versus, but I mean, general rule of thumb, if you're running 64 pitch gears and you want to go to 72 pitch, you go 1 tooth larger on the pinion. And if you're running 72 pitch and you want to go to 64, you run 1 tooth smaller on the pinion. And then you play with your spur gear. We're not going to talk about crown gears because, I mean,
that's fine-tuning.
Same rule of thumb. So once you get your pinion, then you play with your different size spur gears. Well, one of the problems with spur gears is sometimes you may have a gear that hangs below the chassis, which may not be allowed by the rules. So, without talking about jigging chassis to fix that problem, I mean, basically, it comes down to pinion size, and then for me, tire diameter size, because I want to run my tires small as possible to get my clearance down low as possible, and then I have to pick a spur gear. So the first thing is I got to run a spur gear that clears by the clearance rule, and R is above or even with the bottom of the chassis. And then that's the largest I can run and then go smaller. So nowadays we have 30 and 64 pitch. We got, 33s, 34s, 35, 36, 37s. So, I mean, if you take a standard flexi car and you build it, standard oil lights, most cars out there, 725, 730 tires will clear 50 thousandths, and you can run a 37-tooth gear, and it'll be flush with the bottom of the chassis. Not sure about a 38 because I haven't run a 38 in forever.
Yeah, I don't use those.
Right.
So basically, what you're, after you figure, your tire, what size tire diameter you're going to run, and then you're going to run, I guess a big problem is when you go to different size tracks. Like if you're running on a 155-foot track and you go to a 100-foot track, and you're going to run same tire diameter, then usually you got to go to a smaller pinion, 1 tooth, to get the motor to spool up and spool down on the shorter track. Because if you run too big of a pinion or too big of a spur gear or too big of a tire, you can make the motor overheat.
Yeah. And see, like me personally, I run really small tires. So, like, I jig chassis to like 690 or 680 or something so that I can run my tires smaller.
Right.
So then I use a bigger pinion to offset that, and then I also use smaller spurs.
Right.
Because that's what clears. And because I'm losing like 30 to 40 thou, depending on which car it is, on tire, I change my gear accordingly, and it'd be the same for if you jig your car for 750 or 790 for like a scale car or something.
Right.
So
okay. Okay, so let's say you're running 33 tooth spur gears, 11 tooth pinion, and 700 tires. Okay, so what you want to know is your overall rollout. Okay, so you divide 33 by 11, so spur gear size divided by pinion size, and then divided by the decimal size of the tire, like 0.700. So that gives, I did that wrong. 33 divided by 11 divided by 700. That gives you a rollout of 428. And say you're running that like on a king track. But then you go to an orange track, which is 55 foot shorter. Now you need to go to like a 10 tooth pinion. Okay, so to get the same rollout, and you can do it if you have a gear chart, you can kind of figure it out too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, the tires don't change. You can just use
right. It's because like 33 divided by 11 is 3.0. Okay, or 3 to 1. Yeah. So to get 3 to 1 with a 10 tooth pinion, oh, wait a minute, I did that wrong. 33 divided by 11. Yeah, it's 3 to 1. So, and then with 700 tires, it'd be 428. But on the shorter track, you're going to need a little more gear anyway. So, you'd still go like 1033 and maybe go to a 35 or something.
Yeah.
But you got to watch your motor heat.
Yeah, you always got to make sure.
Not pushing water.
Right.
Yep.
Don't want to push the water.
So pinions or spur divided by pinion, I should say spur or crown divided by pinion divided by tire decimal will give you your rollouts. Because you can run like, and where rollout comes into effect, because like years ago before we had tire truers and stuff like that. And like we would run our tires, like we'd take them out of the tube and put them on our cars, and of course they were oversized. So we'd have more clearance than we needed. So like, for example, if they were 790 tires, we might run them down to 760 or 750. Well, what we didn't realize is our car goes faster because it's lower. We didn't really realize that, okay? But part of that too was we were changing the gear ratio because we weren't changing any of the gears as the tire got smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you get to a point where now my tires don't clear. I got to buy a new set. So you buy a new set, put them on the car, and you're like, the car don't go as fast. Well, I think most times a lot of it had to do with the gear ratio was way off.
Yeah.
So, because the tires were bigger.
Yeah.
20 thousandths makes a big difference in rollout.
Yeah, that's just like before, like when we used to practice GTP for Mid-South, it was the same thing in practice. We'd always run them down to practically nothing because we knew we put new tires on, we'd have more rollout because the tire was taller.
Right.
So.
Yep. Because that's like,
always like, wow, this thing's so much faster. And it's like, yeah, you got new tires on it.
Right. Well, that's like, okay, like I have a couple, well, I think I just have one Defender. That's what I call my small tire car. So like it'll clear with like 680 or 690 tires. It'll clear 50 thousandths. But on that, I have to run like 1133, 1144, or 1133 or 1134. Where on my other cars, they're just standard. It's like 730 tires. Could be 1137, 1136. Yeah. But in order for the motor to run the same speed, you got to run that smaller spur gear with those smaller tires.
Yeah.
And is there any advantage if both cars are 50 thousandths clearance? Is there advantage of small tire, small spur versus a little larger tire, a little larger spur? I mean, yeah, you can say there's a little bit of difference in weight.
Right. Yeah, lower center of gravity.
Well, lower. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then is there really a difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
yeah.
I've went to places in my small tire car, for example, that wasn't that good. My bigger tire car was bigger, but then there's been days smaller tire car was a little better.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's because of the smaller tires and smaller spur gear either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's all different ratios.
But I built a small tire car because I had tires that got small to where I couldn't use them anymore on my 725.
That's why I have a small tire car.
So I thought, well, I'll build a car with offset oil lights so I can run these tires a couple more races before they're done.
Yeah.
Especially if it's the good rubber.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we would, whenever we raced weekly more, as in me and my dad, we had 3 different cars that would have 3 different tire sizes.
Right.
So we'd run one tire on, say, our 4-inch NASCAR until it got too small. Then we'd put it on our dirt late model until it got too small. And then we changed it to the other car until it got too small.
Right. I mean, that's like, for example, you're at the Nats here, your place in I don't know, 6 weeks or whatever.
Yeah. Don't say it like that. It makes it sound too
427 hours.
Yeah, okay. So, for example, you could run, because in 4.5-inch stock car, the smallest tire is 790.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you run your tires 790. At the end of the race, they're 780 or something. You can take them off, grind them down, and then put them on your GTP car. If you have a GTP car at 725, then grind them down and run them on your GTP car. When that's over, if you had a car built for 680 for Group 10 or LMP, then you could run them again.
Yeah.
On one of those or maybe both of them, depending on tire wear and stuff like that and what type of rubber it is. So, I mean, you might be able to run one set of tires in 3 races or one pair of tires.
Yeah, and Mid-South races and stuff like that, I usually ended up running the same tire every class except for maybe scale.
Right.
Take off one car, put it on another car, go through the day. Scale cars.
Make sure it's not coning.
Right. But the question is, do you think that a small diameter or small tire car, as I call them, you think they're really any better than?
I think it's better for a flat track.
Okay.
And the only reason I think this is probably one of the dumbest reasons is because there's a minimum height of the rear axle or something, and so that you can't go too far. And so I feel
you're talking production now, right?
Yeah, in production, yes. And so there's a minimum rear axle height in the rule book for either USRA or Worlds. And and so that minimum axle height, I'm assuming that minimum axle height means that it's better if it's all lower and you have smaller tires. Plus, for flexi flats, mine was jigged for 680 because the tires were coming small already. I wanted to make sure they all teched after I had to cut them.
Right. Well, it sounds like everybody talks about center of gravity, but also in the car there's what they call roll center.
Yeah.
Okay. So when your axle is lower,
so confused.
When your axle is lower, you have more weight
up top,
more roll center on the top. Okay.
Yeah.
Or when your axle's higher, you have more weight below the axle. That lowers the roll center.
Yeah.
And that can make a big difference in handling too, because
also in setting gear mesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, setting gear mesh is harder whenever the axle's low.
Right. So, there's a lot of things to consider.
And you get oval racing where you can offset the rear and put rear steer in the car.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a giveaway.
Hey, boy.
I gotta find it now.
A brand new car.
No.
Oh.
It's from Ralph Thorne Racing. Ralph Thorne. Previous host here on the show. Let's see if I can find what he said to give away.
One of the new tire drums.
No.
That'd be a nice giveaway.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he sent that to me in an email because I can't find it in Messenger or my text. Maybe he reneged on it and I can't find it.
Maybe you were dreaming.
No. It was in an email. It had to be. Okay.
Email. Good old email.
Good old email. I gotta find the dang email. That's not it.
Are y'all cleaning and spraying the Cobra and the flat track this weekend?
Yeah, tomorrow we are.
All right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all spraying the flat track like it was sprayed for the warm-up?
Yes. Flat track's getting the same treatment. We didn't like how the Cobra was. Yeah. So
going back to the old way?
Yeah. Going back
to the old way. All right, so I cannot find this. So you know what? We'll just have to give it away next week.
You could have a mystery giveaway and just somebody wants something, but they don't know what.
Are you trying to get me in trouble? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe
we're getting somewhere.
All these people that want to get something for free.
Well, they got it.
Wrong email.
I might have deleted it already. Oh no, here it is. I found it. It was in there.
Got it.
Hey.
It was right there staring at me. Okay. He says, you can give away on one of my new phenolic blocks on the show.
Fancy.
So Ralph is now making these real nice phenolic
motor change box?
Motor change, yeah.
Very nice.
Blocks. I think it's a $20 item, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think it is 20 to 25.
He said we can give one away, so we're going to give one away. And the lucky winner is not you, Walker.
Not me.
I know I'm not going to win. My name's not in there.
Bobby Beachman is the winner.
Hey, Bobby won something.
Yeah, the guy is like, is my name in there?
There you go.
All right, we're going to give away a Mid-America Phoenix motor.
Yeah, I figured that was coming. The weekly Roger giveaway.
Huh?
The weekly Roger giveaway.
Chris Overman.
You go, Chris.
Would you want to give away something, Mr. RM?
Yeah.
I'd have to.
Oh, you got to ask Dad first, don't you? Or Mom.
Actually, yes, I will.
Oh, okay, what you going to do?
A 3D printed guide sanding tool.
Okay. When you got sitting on your box that you never use. Get that out of here. Let's give it away.
RM Racing.
Hey, I have two, and one of them's brand new, and I've sold like 4. So.
Okay, so what are you giving away? A 3D printed
guide sanding tool.
Okay, and the winner of that is
me,
Gary Clinton Sr.
Hey, there we go.
Okay. So, Gary Clinton Sr. needs to contact Walker
for your brand new 3D printed.
I'm sorry, Gary. Sorry, buddy.
I'm going to put guide sander. Bobby won Ralph's block.
Tell Ralph to bring it this weekend.
Yeah.
You pick it up at the track next weekend.
Okay, Ralph, bring your block to the track this weekend. Chris Overman won a Phoenix motor. And you will contact, Roger Schmidt on Facebook, Mid-America, for him to mail you that motor. All right. You guys got anything else?
Not really.
Okay, so tell us about the Mid South race this weekend, because that's kind of like a Nats warm-up race in a way.
All right.
But you're really not racing any Nats classes except GTP, right?
No, they are.
We are. So we're running LMP. Yeah, so we're running LMP.
With FK motors.
Yes. We're going to be running 4-inch NASCAR, which half of us are going to be running Group 10 rules.
Flag on the play.
Okay, LMP will be ran on the King Cobra.
Yes.
With ProSlide FK motors.
Yes.
Then you're going to run 4.5-inch stock cars, or scale cars as they call them, on the oval.
On the tri-oval.
With built 16D motors or FK motors?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to be running 4-inch NASCAR / Group 10 on the Cobra.
Okay.
So we're allowing people to run 16Ds and whatnot.
Built motors. So what's the normal motors?
FK.
Okay.
So people can run their
FK cars and LMP and.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people can run their FKs, but I'm going to be running a 16D. So, and then we're running GTP normal rules. We're still going to allow like the B3 and stuff, but I'm not going to run one, but some guys will.
Okay.
And then we're going to run production on the MTT afterwards with Group 12s or Phoenixes.
Okay, when you say production, flexi chassis.
Yeah.
With DTM bodies.
Yes. Okay. With the Lada. If you got the Lada, you need to use the Lada.
The Lada?
Lada.
The Lada.
That body there.
I have props.
The Red Fox Lada.
Lada.
There you go.
Yeah. Lada.
That's the backup car. I won't show you the race car.
Okay.
That's my jack stand.
Are you racing, Shane?
No.
Oh, okay. Nope. Race car, and I thought, well, you're not racing this weekend, but that's your Nats race car.
That's one of them.
Okay.
Nope. No more racing for me.
Until the Nats.
I have one more test session. I'll fly the team in. That's next weekend. So.
Okay.
Then after that, possibly, maybe one more session in April.
Okay.
That's just to keep the finger hot.
So off topic, but still a racing topic. Is Kyle Busch going to get 200 this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
That spans all three, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They'll have 202 after this weekend at least. If he runs the other two classes, it's an automatic just race for second.
I'm wondering if he'll be at the Easter Bunny this year. The Easter Bunny 150.
I don't know.
He was there last year.
It depends.
But anyone coming Saturday early. No, not this Saturday, but Saturday before the Nats, early, that would like to go and see late model racing, you can ride with me.
Is that the Easter Bunny? Yeah, because that's the day before Easter, right?
Yep, that's the Easter Bunny 150.
And that is where?
At Hickory Motorsport. Is it Motorsports Park, I think?
I don't know.
Yep.
It's an old place, so I would assume Motorsports
I'd say it's very famous and has a lot of history.
Birth of NASCAR.
Yep.
There's no telling, like, me and Bobby went there before, and what's Danica's whole boyfriend's name?
Stenhouse? Or the...
Yep, we sat with Stenhouse one time.
Let's say which boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
He was there one time. Last year, Kyle Busch raced in it. I mean, there's no telling who you'll see or who you'll meet.
Right.
Yeah. Ernie Irvin, I think, raced in it. Not him, but his son. So he was there. Ernie was there.
Is Ernie Irvin going to make the USRA scale Nats?
We don't know if he'll be in town or not.
Okay.
So.
He might be if Jared's racing.
Yeah.
Because I know he's raced it before, so it's a possibility he may be there. Whether or not he races or not, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's just whether or not he'll be allowed to stay the whole week to race slot cars.
Right. Well, I didn't know if he might just show up and race one day and then go home or whatever.
We're hoping he can, but.
But what race was it where he was there Saturday but left? There was a race, or maybe he was there Friday.
probably was.
I think it was the FNRS race.
Yeah.
I want to say Ralph and James met him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was FNRS because it was right after we did the track.
Yeah.
And that was on Thursday or something?
Thursday or Friday, one of those.
That'd be Thursday, I think.
Yeah, because I got
Friday we were there. Yeah, because I think Ralph and James got there Thursday, got a day early.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Because I remember watching the live feed, thinking, "Oh, cool, Ernie's there." And then when we got there Friday, it was like, "Oh, he was just here for the time being."
Right.
Yeah, he had to go home.
Got it.
Go somewhere.
Slot car racing, go home. Slot car racing, go home.
That's just like me. It's going to be tough whenever it's Saturday, the week before the Nats, and it's like, all right, are we going to Hickory or are we going to try and find a live feed?
Yeah.
If we can find a live feed, I'll just stay at the track and watch it. Because they've had live feed before. If not, then we can always watch it like 2 or 3 weeks down the road on, I think it's like MAV TV or something.
Yeah, MAV TV usually shows it a little late.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But me and Bobby went to that race, God, probably the last 5 or 6 years. We haven't missed one yet.
Yeah.
Normally 30 to 40 cars, good cars. Some of the
Nice.
North team come, because it's a lock-in race. So if they win, they're locked in to, I think it's the Oxford 250.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or this year they may race it and be locked into the Richmond race. It's hard to say. Since I quit hoping, I can't keep up with that stuff.
That's
That's just.
All right. Well, that's all I got. So
Yeah.
we will call this. We will close this episode. And
83.
Number 83. And we expect a full report next week, Walker.
Full report.
From your home track, your home race.
Going for the sweep?
I mean, I'm always going for the sweep, whether it happens or not.
I just thought about that. Of all the tracks your dad's had, you've never swept a weekend, have you?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I always have a.
You always choke somewhere?
At our place, I always have some sort of a
malfunction
issue that was way out of my control that just happens. And then, I mean, I never really care. But
oh, you care.
Other places, I mean, at that time and frame, I probably did. But
you did.
But like other places, I've swept, but not at our place.
Where have you swept at other places?
Wait. You sweep at your place all the time. Because you have to sweep the floor.
Nah.
He ain't grabbed the broom since he had to move it out the way of the soda machine.
Yeah. I don't do that.
All right. Go sweeping.
Build stuff.
Go work on your stuff so you can sweep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll make a deal with you.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's an easy one. You win all the races. All of them. That's all of them. Production, all of them. Whenever I come up there on the 23rd, I'll buy you lunch.
Okay.
We'll go to the Cuban place. Do you want Cuban or would you rather have the grill?
Go get the pork at the Italian place.
I'm not taking it to the Italian place. Because that'd be expensive because I'll have a couple beers.
As I say, because that'd be like a $30 meal. Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
No, win all of them. I'll buy your lunch.
All right. I'm good with that because it probably won't happen. But,
hey, you never know.
It
won't happen with that attitude.
The oval race.
Well, I think he's going to be going for it.
Oh, I'll be going for it for sure.
Like he said, he always goes for the sweep.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody does.
Make sure you wear your lucky hat and your lucky underwear.
Yeah, I got to wear the apron.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Fire apron.
Fire apron. Your fire shorts.
Fire short. It's funny.
Wear your red T-shirt too.
T-shirt.
Yeah. I don't know what shirt I'll wear. I might wear my Mid-American product.
Wear your sandals with socks.
Nah.
Because of how warm it is.
Yeah.
I might not wear socks.
You got to wear socks.
All right, guys.
Okie dokie.
See you next week. If you're going racing this weekend, good luck. Be safe. We'll see you next week.